I've been maintaining the same body weight for the past 20 years, and I'm finally gonna tell you how. If you're a regular here on Abby's Kitchen, you know that I've talked a lot about set point weight, aka the weight range where your body just naturally falls when you're not trying to manipulate it. So my body has a very strong set point weight. I'm 35 years old, and outside of 2 major life events, I've weighed the exact same amount, give or take like 5 pounds max, since I was around 17. So my weight did drastically decline for a few years when I was struggling with my eating disorder in my late teens and early 20s. And then of course I gained weight with each of my pregnancies. But between and after these specific times of flux, my body just basically naturally returned to the exact same weight. Obviously my body composition and where I carry my fat and my muscle has absolutely changed with each of these phases of life, but the weight itself has actually been remarkably stable. And I want to make something really clear first here. I actually don't weigh myself at home, like actually ever. I did occasionally, I guess, during my second pregnancy, only because it was COVID and I didn't get as much prenatal care, but otherwise I do not regularly step on the scale. The only reason I even know what my weight is because I get weighed at my physical every year and my weight stays the same. The other really important thing that I want to mention is that the set point that I do have is largely genetic. So if you want like a really short answer to a long question as to why I don't gain weight, it's because this is the genetic weight that I was meant to be. But still, there are some things that I do, largely kind of like subconsciously, that help me maintain this homeostasis. Some of this is practical advice as a dietitian that you can take away and incorporate into your day-to-day. Some of it is more nuanced or philosophical and requires bigger life or mind shifts, but none of these things are hard rules. They're just generally what feels best to me, so it's basically what I normally do. And hopefully some of these gentle nutrition tips will be helpful for a lot of you at home, and maybe if not, you'll at least get some inspiration for a really tasty salad. Let me hop in here super quick to tell you about my sponsor, Element. So one of the little supplement tweaks that I've made to my routine over the past year has been really focusing in on my hydration. So obviously, yes, this means drinking a lot of water, but it also is important to replenish electrolytes too. And I have found that I personally feel so much better when I have my Element electrolytes in the morning. So Element is an electrolyte drink mix with no sugar, gluten, colors, or artificial ingredients added, containing an evidence-based electrolyte ratio of 1,000 milligrams sodium, 200 milligrams potassium, and 60 milligrams magnesium. Anytime I speak with one of my RD colleagues, especially those who work in sports nutrition, about electrolyte supplements, they all agree that Element is the go-to. Ensuring I'm keeping on top of my fluid and electrolyte needs helps to regulate hormones, nutrient absorption, and fluid balance to help to reduce the risk of headaches, muscle cramps, and fatigue. And it's not just for exercising heavily outdoors. I depended on these while I was breastfeeding, and if I do have a drink, I always have an electrolyte drink before bed. And even if you're not doing anything extreme outdoors, some folks are just what we call salty sweaters, and they may need some more electrolytes to feel their best. I personally just feel way more energized when my electrolytes are properly balanced. My favorite flavor is the watermelon and also the mango chili if I need an extra kick to get going in the morning. But right now, Element is offering my viewers a free sample pack with any order. So you get 8 single serving packets free with any Element order. This is an ideal way to try all 8 flavors or share Element with a salty friend. So you can get yours at drinkelement.com/Abbey Sharp, and this deal is only available if you use my link. So go to drinklmnt.com/Abbey Sharp to get yours today. A quick disclaimer and trigger warning that we will be discussing weight and weight loss. And I also want to remind people that it is completely normal and natural for your body weight to increase with age. Your genetic set point in adulthood will be different than childhood and adolescence. So staying the same weight in every stage of life should never be the goal. Number 1, this one won't be a shocker to anyone who watches my channel on the regular, but I eat intuitively. And explaining this in its entirety will take a whole video series, which thankfully I already have for you guys. So we're ahead on that front. But in the context of maintaining my weight, I would say we want to focus on principle 2 and principle 6. So that's honor your hunger and respecting your fullness. If we try to think about our hunger like a gas gauge, generally speaking, I like to start eating around a 3-ish and then stop around like a 7 or an 8 max. So post-ED, it literally took years of me eating to like a full 10 to feel confident stopping when I was comfortable and not just like overwhelmingly stuffed. And what helped me to get there was coming to terms with how bad I physically feel when I chronically overeat. So for me, it messes up my sleep. I get a big blood sugar crash in the middle of the night. I feel constipated. Like I really just don't feel my best. And making that my reason to stop at a more comfortable place rather than the fear of gaining weight has really helped to keep me out of scarcity mentality, and also just made it a lot easier for me to more effortlessly choose portions that maintain my weight. Number 2, this is a lot more specific, but I generally don't drink a lot of calories. So I don't drink soda. I don't really even drink a lot of fancy boozy juices anymore. I mean, smoothies are more of like a solid food to me, so that's a different category. I do have a lot of smoothies. So the only legitimate exceptions I have on the regular is an occasional glass of wine and my daily lattes. Because no one should touch or change how they like their coffee. And also black coffee is for psychopaths. Just kidding. But yeah, this is generally why I use soy milk in my coffee in the morning, because A, I just like the flavor of soy, and B, I like that I'm getting a little bit of balancing protein in there to complement and contribute to my breakfast, as opposed to just straight up sugars in a glass of juice. And speaking of drinks, let's talk about booze for a second. So I don't drink that much, honestly. I love wine, but I drink max 2 to 3 drinks a week. And this is mainly because alcohol just does not feel great to me. Again, kind of like overeating. It makes me a bit constipated. It fucks up my sleep. I sometimes get like a bit of a blood sugar crash in the middle of the night or the next morning. So yeah, this is my non-diet culture rationale for me to not refill my glass, which to me is far more motivating than weight loss or fear of gaining weight. But limiting my booze also inadvertently also limits a lot of calories. So, you know, a standard glass of wine or beer has, I don't know, like 120, 150 calories. If you're doing that every single night, it does add up. I would always find when people cut out booze, they would quickly lose a good amount of weight, especially men who are used to drinking like 2 beers a night. I move my body pretty much every day. And if you're thinking, oh my God, that's excessive, I can never do that. It's not like I'm doing a 2-hour Olympic gym workout 7 days a week. Basically, I do 4 days or so of purposeful exercise, strength training, Pilates, bar style workouts, etc. And then the rest of the time, I do a lot of walking. Like I live in downtown Toronto, so my mantra is if I can walk, I'm gonna walk, because often traffic and parking is such a nightmare, so frustrating. You'd get there way faster if you just moved your body. I'm also a natural fidgeter, which may or may not be undiagnosed ADHD, but we also know that fidgeting is linked to a lower set point weight. Okay, number 5, I eat a large salad pretty much every day. When I had SIBO, I couldn't eat salad without blowing up like a balloon. And I love salad. Like I love the crunch. I love a really good bright zippy dressing, like the one I just made. Oh my gosh, so good. So I definitely, desperately missed my salad. But once I fully recovered from my SIBO, I really found that getting in one consistent big bowl of raw veggies and like all the toppings really helped with regularity, which is really important for SIBO prevention, and also helps with satiety because of the volume and the fiber. And this is not a rule. Like I said, none of these things are rules. Some days I have very little or no vegetables altogether. But I also just know that without veggies in my day, I do not feel my best. I feel it the next day. My whole bathroom routine gets fucked up. Number 6, I eat protein at every meal and snack. Protein is king of the satiety hierarchy, and we have so much research on the benefits for weight management. So I really do try to aim for like a solid 20 to 30 grams per meal. That's my typical goal, and around 100 grams per day. I don't actually measure anything or count anything. I just know based on my satiety cues now and general kind of eyeballing portion sizes. And it sounds like a lot, but it's not that hard to hit. So, you know, that could mean some protein oats at breakfast. It could mean like a chicken salad at lunch, lunch, some fish with some veggies and carbs for dinner, a big bowl of cottage cheese and some nuts and fruit and stuff for bedtime snack. Like, it's all there for me. I don't really have to put that much work into meeting those needs. Number 7, I typically only eat out around twice a week. And again, never really do the calories or the risk or fear of gaining weight cross my mind as a reason to avoid going out very often. Like, I was there when I had an ED. If someone were to invite me to go out for dinner, I would full-blown panic. Like, full-out panic, Googling all the nutrition facts and the menu, etc. I know a lot of you guys have been there too. Now, I just mindfully limit my dining out because A, my kids don't like it when we go out, they freak out. As soon as I'm wearing something other than a house coat, my son says, "Are you going out for dinner?" And he starts to get all teary-eyed. So I would never want to leave him multiple times a week. But also the combination of the booze and a big heavy meal and a late night definitely means my sleep gets fucked up. Also, what is going on with restaurant prices these days? Like, it is getting out of control to eat anywhere. You can't even go to a Boston Pizza. When I do eat out, I still try to keep my hunger crushing combo top of mind. So I'll build on top of whatever it is that I'm craving. So let's say I wanted a big bowl of pasta or mac and cheese or pizza or something. I would probably start with a side salad or make sure there was veggies in a side or something like that. I would do some kind of protein app like seafood. And obviously I would still be eating more calories than had I made that meal at home. But again, this is not an everyday thing. Honestly, folks, life is too damn short. And speaking of restaurant food, I try to incorporate what I call smart use of oils. So I like teaching smart use of oils because saying moderate use of oils is pretty ambiguous, and saying limit oils or avoid oils really risks us falling into scarcity mentality. So smart use of oils to me is all about utilizing oils where they are most useful and functional. So no offense to Europeans, but I don't finish every dish with like a big drizzle of olive oil when I've already cooked in olive oil. I just add enough oil to coat the pan while cooking, usually like a tablespoon or so. And then with dressings, I usually do like half oil, half vinegar. Personally, I just prefer a nice zippy, bright vinaigrette. And then I fill in the rest of the gaps with like lots of mustard, a little bit of maple in there, maybe some fresh herbs or a little shallot action. So tasty. And then when I get salads out, I usually ask for the dressing on the side. And again, in my head, this is less about the calories as it is just a general preference. Like, there's nothing I hate more than getting a big glob of dressing on my green. So I usually like to add it in layers, and then I eat that layer, and then I add a little bit more, etc. Also, I like to consider the smart function in specific salads. So in a salad that has like a lot of cheese or avocado, for example, once it mushes up, it tends to coat the leaves in some of those healthy oils and fats. So I also find that it just generally needs less dressing than if you had something that was just straight up heavy leaves. So this to me is just a really smart way to utilize an ingredient that does contribute to satiety, satisfaction, and nutrition. But I do think there's a sweet spot if weight management is also a goal. Number 9, I have pooled a lot of time and resources into my sleep and stress management. As many of you guys know, if you follow me here, I have been an insomniac for many years. And I mean, I guess I still am. I'm just heavily medicated. So most nights I sleep decently well. And my journey with anxiety has also been a really big struggle in my life. But I would say with a combination of like therapy, medication, meditation, I have been managing so much better. And we know that a lack of sleep and excess stress are associated with higher body weight and weight gain. And I will say that during what I call my dark days of my insomnia, I definitely was a little bit fluffier, and I naturally ended up leaning out when I started medicating, which makes total sense because my cortisol was completely dysregulated, and I was getting up in the middle of the night and having like a full meal at 2 a.m. because I was awake and I was bored, and eventually I would get hungry. So achieving my personal health homeostasis definitely contributed to my weight homeostasis. And number 10, I have prioritized my gut health. So we know that gut bacteria diversity is associated with body weight and risk of weight gain over time. Basically, the type of bacteria in your gut affects how calories are extracted and absorbed. And we also know that fiber, like in things like salads, is a very key player because it feeds our good gut bacteria. Now, as we've established, I eat a lot of plant-based foods. Usually got fruit at breakfast and snack and salad at lunch and cooked veggies at dinner. And I try to aim for plant-based protein at least 2 to 3 times per day. I also eat a lot of fermented foods like yogurt, have that basically every day. And I take a combination of different probiotic supplements like spore-based bacillus strains. And I get a lot of questions all the time about my SIBO. It is gone, I am cured, I'm regular, I'm happy, and my gut has never been better. So just to reiterate, these are the things that I do in my life that as a dietitian, I know can help to contribute to the maintenance of my very, very narrow set point weight. That and the most obvious contributor, which is genetics. But the key here is that I don't do any of these things intentionally to lose weight or out of fear of gaining weight. I do them because they make me feel good. And in hindsight, I can see, yes, they do play a role in me managing my weight. But if that was my only intention, I would for sure find myself in this kind of restrict, binge, repent, repeat cycle that not only doesn't support weight loss, it also likely causes weight gain. So the moral of the story here is that getting to this place is a journey. It actually took me over 10 years of me still grappling with guilt and morality and scarcity while making choices that didn't really feel good to my body to finally make choices from a place of genuine self-care. But I got myself a big salad here, folks. So if you guys like this video, please let me know. Give me the thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below what other gentle nutrition tips would be helpful for you. Also, if you're looking for hunger crushing combo ideas, hit up my description. I have the free hunger crushing combo ebook ready to go. You guys can download that today. And I'll see you next time on Abby's Kitchen. Bye.